really huge. And I need to speak about this before I move into this integration. So I need to speak to you guys today on a lot of things when it comes to the Cazimi and when it comes to Leo energy, the new moon in Leo that we're about to have on the 24th, and the Cazimi here that we're about to have on the 31st. Now, if any of you understand how this is going to affect the collective on a big scale, this is why the devil card keeps coming out in a lot of energies and a lot of readings collectively. Here's why. Saturn is the devil card, and Saturn rules Capricorn, okay? And so Saturn is in retrograde, right? So with that being in retrograde, you're going to see the structures that are faulty, the structures that don't align with our sovereignty and where we're headed, right? These things are going to fall, and this is a very big time. And this is a very big time to keep yourselves in line and to keep yourselves devoted to yourself and to the highest of the high, okay? Because that's where you're going to be able to, I got chills all over me. That's where you're going to see the truth. Thank you, God. All right, prevail. And so when you focus more inward, that's what the retrogrades force us to do. It's going to show you where you have missed the mark because you weren't able to see or able to be in the energy of the opportunities that are flowing into you abundantly because your energy was not in alignment. And I've been saying this for 2 months now on this page, all right? Bodies in alignment, no longer on consignment. I got the full body chills. And what that truly means is that you're no longer in karmic cycles. You're now able to open up to these opportunities and see things in a different perspective in your reality that allows you to change everything. So your realities are really starting to become what you make of them. And many of you are dealing with integration, such as realizing things you say in that moment is exactly what's happening the next day or the next moment. Okay, premonitions are heavy right now. Do not try to assume what that energy means right then in that moment. Take a breath, receive, and sit with it, and understand the clarity that you have the ability to receive when you don't understand a premonition. Example, okay? It rocked me to my core yesterday, and I can only give this in my own timeline and my own time frame to help you understand what's happening to you right now. I was inside starting to cook dinner last night. All of a sudden, my daughter ran out of the house and I got this wave rush of emotion that immediately my son was going to crack his head on the cement, okay? Period, end of story. This just happened yesterday. And I didn't understand it because I've seen that premonition a few times in my head, but I didn't understand it. Now, these kids have been running amok all summer, having a blast, okay? They're having the time of their lives, like the 80s, like drinking out of hoses like we grew up, you know? They just all having a blast, all right? This kid is literally riding his bike brakes completely break. They broke. He's hitting his brakes and the bike starts to wobble. Boom, he goes backwards and he hits his head. Okay? He's fine. He's wonderful. All right? This kid is solid. All right? Thank God that his angels and my guides were watching him at that moment. Okay? Nothing was compromised by any means. He's having the time of his life. But in that moment, okay, I'd had that premonition a few times before I had the wave of energy, right? So what I am trying to help you guys realize is that when that moment, okay, of that premonition comes alive, you're not only going to see it, you're going to feel that wave of emotion come alive right now. And so this is part of your devotion and your intentionalization to what you're doing. Okay, so this is how big and how clear you can become. This is the no assumption, all right, that has begun. All right, so these things are very direct. If I can tell you anything right now, do not neglect your intuition or what you're receiving. Not only by my own experiences, but by the energy that's available to you. Okay, now they're saying opalescence to me. Now, if you understand what the opalescence means, it's the refraction of the milky rainbow of all colors, right? When you look at a milky opal, all right, its opalescence gives the essence of all the colors of the rainbow, even the ones in the in-between. All right, and this is how you're radiating your energy right now in an array of opalescence, an array of rainbow colors. So to me, that only tells me that many of you are open to receive what it is that you need to receive, and all of you that are here are in the energy of belief and faith. And when you have that belief and faith, it radiates as the rainbow child that you are, that came here to bridge the gap between the 7th and the 8th fire prophecy. And this is what you're seeing right now, is between the 7th and the 8th fire prophecy that you're in the middle of, okay? So this Saturn retrograde mixed with this Leo new moon is cataclysmic. All right, and you already feel the energy and the difference. Now, many of you may not even know or pay attention to, but I am telling you, the same things that are happening here are happening on other continents, okay? At the same time, okay? You have Alaska, you have Russia, you have the United States, you have Japan that's about to break, all right? And so these are where the faulty mistakes have been. And this is the clearing of the energy. The mother is going to clear the energy once again, and she is in rebirth. It's like your water just broke, is what they're showing me. It's like the water has just broke, right? And you're in the middle of the birthing pains, okay? And those birthing pains is where the creation energy begins, okay? And this is huge collectively. This is huge for Mother Earth. This is huge with where you're headed and what you're about to pursue, okay? So God bless each and every one of you, and nothing but miracles and opportunities and the most abundancies to each and every one of you and your families at this time. The sovereign beings that you are, let's retrieve and come back online. At this moment, what we are doing is we are bringing in personally into my space the divine energy in which is being given to me to receive, to give to you. This is going to bring clarity, truth, passion, purpose to what you do, every footstep that you take. Every chain that you break, every realization that you have that takes place is solidified for your growth and for your highest of grace. There we go. Beautiful integration. And we're just gonna settle it in. Some of you are looking for unification. Some of you are looking for clarification. And some of you are looking for open revelation. In the name of the divine, in the name of the highest source, I call forth the blessings to receive in which the collective here with me needs. In the name of the divine Sophia and all truth, May nothing but blessings and of the highest of intentions for each and every one of your sovereign beings here today. Thank you. Things are going to take flight, okay? And so what you give your time, energy, attention, and love to is what creates the multi-layered dimensions for you to actually even break through, for you to challenge yourself for your own growth and for your own wealth. And as you move through the polarities and the boundaries in which you have placed before you, you are also going to receive the abundancies of the breakthroughs. And so when you do things in a space and place with love and intention and embrace and unity, you understand that nothing but the highest of good can take place. And so right now they're showing me that you're not even really dealing with self in an emotional place. You're just ready for open opportunity and what's next. So it's like, oh, I have these emotions, but no, that's not going to help with that right now. It's very practical energy, okay? But you're allowing it to show you everything that you need it to show you. For a lot of you, they're showing me willow bark and showing me cedar. So this has some type of wood energy in a shamanic practice that is giving you some type of clarity. So burning cedar, okay? And there's something about willow bark too. But the native side of me understands that cedar not only brings clarity and protection and clear space, but it also is one of those that, in my story, in my Lakota language, it also takes your prayers and your messages up to the angels to take them to the heavens for the divine to receive. So this may be something in which you believe or that your soul resonate with, or at the same time, they're just talking about things that you can connect with to open up and ground this energy in. There's a lot of creation, but yet at the same time, there's stagnation. So it's what I see to perceive a almost Velcro effect of this peeling away and moving into the new. So the cracks and formulations that Gaia is going through is only respondent of you, right? So you feel this first, the energy then of the universe responds, Gaia responds simultaneously, okay? They're telling me to tell you to put your hands in the dirt, but also watch the dirt, which is really cool to me because it's all about prophecy, in which I've already seen to receive. So watch the dirt, watch where Gaia hurts is what they're saying. Watch where Gaia hurts and see what that connects to upon the earth and the ley lines in which you know to be true. They're giving me correlation again, back to the Great Mind crossover, okay, which started in 2017, and then 2022 was the opposite part from here to this reflection. So it already in 2017 went this direction, in 2022 it went in this reflection, and that was the rise of the divine feminine, okay? Thank you. You really want me to speak that? Okay. I was asking how are they going to be able to receive that or perceive that, and I was told it wasn't up to me, so I forgot. Alright, so yesterday I have to give you experience because they want me to tell the story which leads up to the point of resistance. I guess they like me to storytell to help like ground your energy back in. It's the shaman in me, the storyteller. What can I say? So, yesterday they put me back in Deuteronomy. And if any of you understand or know anything, which you may not, just have understanding that Deuteronomy is all about Moses' journey and Moses leading the people, and all about, quote-unquote, the 10 Commandments, right? Well, if you actually go back and read the Apocrypha parts, and then you keep it next to the other parts, there's way more than 10 of those things. And so I highlighted each and every one of those things, right? That's not the point of this. The point of this is that in Revelations, all right, in which was received, right now, you are being given promises in which are being revealed again, and provisions. And when you speak of the divine's provisions, it's knowledge, it's wisdom, it's availability to receive. And when I was in that message, it's always a blessing, because the reason that I read is because I'm always taken to many different spaces that bring open new availability and new truths that are backed up, not only by the divine, but things that I find. And that's how things come online, even more so. And when you read certain knowledge and wisdoms, because I don't read the Bible word for word, there's nothing in there that I am open to receive. But when I can get into the 66 Gospels that are lost, or the other deeper texts that they want to take out, it really tells you kind of what's formulating, right? And it's pattern in history replaying itself, but in a completely different way. So when I was in the Old Testament of Deuteronomy, and I was listening and I was staying open, every time that I read anything when it came to Baal, okay, because to me that's a falsehood. That is not the divine in which I know that I receive. So there was 5 of them in the Old Testament. There were 5 of the old quote-unquote gods in the Old Testament. And it kept saying that if you didn't follow, right, these quote-unquote 10 Commandments, then you, meaning the man, okay, the father, because it says the father, the, and then it also says son and sons, and it continues to talk about the masculine, okay? It says that the masculine, hear me out, we're going somewhere. It says that the masculine, basically, if you read that, it's like the masculine line of generation was cursed. Because in that book, what they showed me in a revelation was that God, in which was instilling fear and destruction and all of this, right, was not even the real that came, of course, and gave Moses the actual more than 10 knowledge and wisdoms, because they weren't necessarily commandments. They were universal wisdoms and knowledge and truths. And so when they took that information, and it then goes in the Father's line of vibration, because it always talks about the Father and the Father's sons and the sons of the sons, right? Especially in verse 18, chapter 6 of Deuteronomy is what I'm looking at here. For any of you want to go and follow me. All right, and what this is it's talking about the 10 Commandments, but it's talking about if you don't follow the 10 Commandments, right? That in that energy, it's the Father, and the Father and the Son's sons that are going to be cursed, and they won't receive the blessings. Nowhere in that place does it say anything about the wives or the women being cursed. Doesn't say anything about the children or anything of that nature. It says the Father and the sons of the sons. The point I'm making in Revelation here, that it's basically the masculinity and the demonic energy that they were showing me that basically cursed the masculine lineage in vibration with word, with tongue, with word. Because it says, and of course, it's gone from Aramaic translation, but in the book that so many try to live by or understand, if they understand the vibration of word and what was spoken, then it would hurt. Because what they were showing me was literally that God was cursing the Father, and then the sons. So just what if, food for thought that they're giving me to give to you, I went down this rabbit hole. What if, of course, that was all part of the suppression of the feminine, which we understand, right? We know that. Hear me out. This is why the feminine have to come in, thank you, and overpour this feminine energy of wisdom, of knowledge, of love, of grace, of companionship, compassion, and unity to balance out this vibration. No, it is not the matriarchal energy taking over once again. But if we as women don't help our men rise, because just what if that energy placed a curse on the masculine lineage, and this whole time in verbatim, we in our masculine energy, wrath, survivalism, egotism, the masculinity was cursed. So you have to dig through the dirt to rise in your femininity, tribulation after tribulation after tribulation, to uncurse the masculine side, so that not only does the feminine rise within you to bring back the sovereignty, the wisdom, the love, the companionship within you, to balance then out that vibration. Why wouldn't it happen then in unification of relationship or universal energy? And so therefore, I want you to try to take in the understanding and take that back to the divine of your understanding and the God of your understanding in what they gave me in that revelation, because they always will take me back to certain places. So the point that is spoken here today is, if you understand wordplay and babble and frequency, you also understand those things that get pointed out to you. So then therefore, I was shown how the masculine energy, in a sense, was cursed by word vibration. And I'm not saying the feminine weren't either. But if one side is cursed, then it's the other side that tries to hide until it's time to rise and break through the chains and the barriers and the layers of what is perceived in that reality. So I guess I'm supposed to leave you with a gift today. And most of the time, I only know that I do this when we're about to jump. So the only times that I'm asked to read this is because of the fact is that we're about to make a significant jump. Okay? The seed of creation, or did you forget? In the beginning, it was us and we were it. You wanted to experience it. Time and space is what took place for many different frequencies that allowed it to be, brought on by many different creeds and beings that became the seed, which then became the word to be. The Divine Mother planted the seed of creation. Your Mother Earth that I created was never meant to be a way station. You were born to create. You were born to have fun. You were born to the light. That's where it begun. The sands of time have clogged your mind. Frequency turned to words, left your voice unheard. You forgot all that you learned when you emerged. Time and space is what took place. You were never meant to be erased in this densely lit place. You came to your senses with divine comprehension. You reinforced your prism, clearing out the masses. You chose to take off your rose-colored glasses. Your mind raced as your heart stood still, not knowing then what would take place. Red pill, blue pill, no choice at all. They want me to stop right here because even in the verbiage of the text in which so many follow by, I want you to understand and know that even if it says in that book that you should not choose the right or the left, your mind raced as your heart stood still, not knowing then what would take place. Red pill, blue pill, no choice at all. Waiting for time and space to fall, wondering if and when you would hear the call. Come the one and come the all, as your mother's voice stood tall. You knew the answer and you heard your call. The spark, the fire, the flame, call it what you want here, your words are all the same. The masters and the spirits already know your name. It's an imprint through all time and space. Do you even know from which dimension you came? How come you don't know or even remember your truest of name? The one the Creator gave you when it birthed you in all of your light with all of its sight. Time stood still the day you were born. You came out perfect. You were never meant to be torn. You were made to believe what your human eyes could perceive. Don't you see the light I gave you is inside of me? Make no mistake. Oh my, how you've grown. It shows in your smile, a newfound home. The tides have turned. The tides have turned. This was written on July 1st of 2023. The tides have turned. Oh, what a mess. What did you think? I was not in distress? Did you think I would forget? My children come from wide and far. Uniting of their tongues will soon roar. The trumpets will sound and be silenced no more. In perfect peace and harmony once more. No longer can you claim my land. You see, it was never yours to begin with. It's what you made it out to be. Oh, how you have disrespected the one you call God, who is truest in nature. I sent my son in physical form to represent me, the eternal flame, the divine creator. He had natural abilities to be the protector and fulfill the divine prophecy to complete the sacred sectors of geometry. He did exactly what I asked of thee, but you personified him, persecuted him, turned him into a sacrifice because you were scared of thee. But this time I made the order taller, that he comes back as she, all in divine order, you'll see. A gift to my children, a peaceful presence will return. Justice for all was my bond and my word. The Creator has watched all that you've done. Did you think you would get away with your fun? Torture, slavery, greed from day one. Don't worry, your judgment day will come. You've taken way more than what you need. This will no longer be a place of greed. No matter what race, lineage, color, or creed, my children have come to unite, you see. Under my grace, you took from every age, race, and gender, people suffering while you danced in a splendor, not thinking that my children of the light would catch on to your demise. Divide and conquer was your prize. The war you made was on their minds, only to trap their souls as your prize. There is one you could not trick, the Creator, the all, the infinity. Can't you see? The tables have turned. You better run quickly. You made my children forget the prophecy. Through your words you used as frequency, your lies and unspoken truths you hid from thee. But you forget, the Creator can see every nook, every cranny, and every thought to be, for it wrote the divine prophecy of eternity. My children have come to unite. From near and far, I put out a grand call for a great awakening. Come the one and come the all. My heartbeat that grounds their feet. My plants, my rivers, and trees, what a sweet treat, but they have forgotten what connects them all to me and you. A dream some think that won't come true. Far-fetched they think, but that's the key. Divine intervention no one can see, but the truest of eyes and hearts that beat. We returned the call, we knew the answer. The 144 was the answer. From every lineage, race, dimension, and creed, for they remember the code to be, as they have walked this path since the beginning of humanity. I hid them this time near and far. For every 1 million, there's only 3. I was way smarter than you could believe. We also gathered those that carry the feather and the rose to be. They come from faraway places of many backgrounds, colors, and races, not from these familiar places. They are here to spark the masses, to create a higher expansion, and this is what you call rapid ascension. Inner earth and outer earth are about to merge. This will no longer leave your voice unheard. You found peace in the silence, left behind so much violence, only to become vulnerable once more, that left you on your knees in front of my door. Voices churned as your emotions burned, trying to find peace in the silence once more. Tender pieces finally put together in one frame, not from disdain, but because you finally remembered your name from which you came. The demons in your brain from which you came, you had to learn to refrain until nothing but my voice remained. You had to learn that the spirits of disdain already knew your name as you came to complete your destiny once more. Turning the pages you learned from the sages, how to find peace in the silence, moving away from the spiritual violence. Your life you knew was never going to be a bore. The energies of the enemies knew when you were born. This is the meticulous beginning of our sequel. You had to learn that you were not all created equal. Your frequency and light were that of mine. This I had to teach you in due time. And soon you would learn that everything would work out fine. Trusting the process puts you humans in such distress. Time is not equal. That's why this is the beginning of the second sequel. You are my people. The spaces in the in-between is where you had to sew up the seams so your light could not be seen. You have come so far from who you are to what you are. This is the most growth I've seen thus far. You had to come back home to me and no longer flee from what was inside of you and me. I am your equal. I created the heavens and the earth and all the planets that reside. Put your differences aside and come alive. Everyone transitions, which is what you call death. But not everybody lives and know what it's like to give. Give to the one that gave to you. I reside in each and every one of you. The merging of the two, the inner you, the outer you. You call that your higher self, I think, to be true. Inner earth and outer earth, the heavens and the earth will merge once more. This cycle will no longer be born. It was all part of the perfect storm and the process in which you forget. Don't worry, it's nowhere near over yet. And once your knees hit the floor, you'll remember once more. It's true, I created the heavens and the earth with the help of your birth. To the depths of your soul, you're so very old, it's wrapped in gold. Behold the stories that were left untold. All is about to unfold. This is something you've been told. Your heart is so very bold. Don't believe all you've been sold and told. Nothing more can be bought, borrowed, sold, or left untold. These are the stories of gold, about to unfold, that have never been borrowed, sold, or told. This is a prophecy so very, very old, and it all starts with the gold. Mwah. Absolutely beautiful. Absolutely divinely beautiful. I got to have my own revelations for the first time after writing that transcript backwards to forwards over the last 3 years. And so, by the grace of God, maybe here soon it'll be published in full writing, to help any and all that need to come into contact to remember who they are and how to help open those things up for them. So, with all due respect, sitting aside, thank you for sitting here with me and hanging out with me